Hey, Weirdos. It's Thursday again. I'm Mackenzie, and I'm joined, as always, by...
I'm Chris.
And I lost my hat. I'm Sarah.
And this podcast is for Weirdos.
Where's the Santa hat?
Are you sitting on it?
Hey, Mackenzie, what are we talking about?
Well, today I went on a solo side quest.
She did. For work.
For work. This summer I went to Portland, Maine
Wow.
for work. And
Crazy.
whilst I was there, I got there a couple days before the ship got there so I could get some supplies and different things like that.
So you could do your job.
So I could do my job.
Your job.
And one of the days I was looking up things to do in Portland. And I was looking for like ghost tours and stuff like that. Because we try to go on a ghost tour in different places. Or like what museums were in Portland so I could go do some local touristy things.
Yeah.
And unintentionally, this was not something I had like preemptively looked up to do.
Mm-hmm. Which is insane. Is it coming? Does it approach?
There it is.
The sneeze is here.
I was like,
Sorry, I didn't mean to just stop. I could feel it coming.
I saw
though.
her face. I was like, she's going to sneeze.
I looked at her and I said, "What's happening in the camera?"
the
The answer
sneeze.
is a sniz.
And one of the things that popped up was the International Cryptozoology Museum.
Wow.
And I went,
Hell yeah, brother.
I have to go there.
You do.
I have to go there. And it was only a couple miles from where I was. I didn't have any meetings set up for that day because it was a weekend. So I was like, I have the time and space to be able to go over there. I was hoping to go with my friend who was with me. She had stuff she had to do. So
Lame.
I ended up going by myself. But that's okay.
A true solo adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So the International Cryptozoology Museum is not very large.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than what I was expecting it to be, but it's not a
fair.
huge space. They have a 10-foot tall Bigfoot statue outside the museum. That's like how you know that you're in the right place because it's kind of in this like shopping center kind
How you
of
know you're there.
thing.
I want to go.
The X that marks the spot.
The X that marks the
So
spot.
it has
Bigfoot.
been in Portland it was established in 2003. So it's been there for 23 years.
Wow.
I need everyone to know that I was like, wow, 12 years. And then I was like, quit doing that thing where you think that it's 2015.
They are
Wrong.
moving to a brand new location
Wow.
in Bangor, Maine.
Okay.
It'll open on April 1st of 2026. And
April Fools!
and the Portland location will be closing because they're moving all of that collection to the Bangor location.
Cool.
Currently, you can visit the International Cryptozoology Museum 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week.
Wow.
They are closed Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day.
Okay.
And then, how much do you think I paid to go into this museum?
$6.
Okay,
I say $20.
great. Adults 13 plus are $10,
Hey!
It's pretty good.
and children 12 and below are $5.
Mm-hmm.
And then babies, if they are of carrying age or still in a stroller and aren't going to be getting in and out of the stroller, are for free.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So
If your baby cannot walk.
if your baby can't walk, they are for free. Or if they're napping, or if they're going to be in either on your body or in a stroller,
Incapacitated in some
they're,
way.
they are free. So it was when I walked in, I was not nervous, but I was just like, as a museum person, I was like, this could either be really good or really bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was a little unsure going in because I was just like, a lot of places, especially that do more niche collections,
Right.
and they're calling themselves a museum, it's like, are you calling yourself a museum because you want to sound cool, or because you're doing curated exhibits,
Museum
like
work.
museum
doing
things?
museum work.
Because we've all gone to a museum that said that they're a museum, and you get there and you're like, you are not a museum. You
It's
are
the
a
Alien Museum in Roswell.
That's what I was thinking of.
you're a poorly done. You're a fun collection that is poorly presented.
Yeah.
So the International Cryptozoology Museum does have a mission statement, and I'm going to read it to you.
Yay! Read me that mission statement.
So it says cryptozoology is the study of hidden or unknown animals. These are usually larger zoological species that to date remain unverified by science, such as yetis, Bigfoot, lake monsters, and sea serpents, as well as the hundreds of other yet to be found animals referred to as cryptids worldwide, for which compelling ethno-known evidence has been collected for their possible existence. It also encompasses the study of animals of recent discovery, such as the coelacanth, okapi, megamouth shark, giant panda, and mountain gorilla. The International Cryptozoology has as its primary mission to educate, inform, and share cryptozoological evidence, artifacts, replicas, and popular cultural items with the general public, media, students, scholars, and cryptozoologists from around the world. This museum is the result of more than 5 decades of field research, travel, and dedication to the gathering of representative materials, native art, foot casts, hair samples, models, and other cryptozoological samples. Its director, Lauren Coleman, has moved his Cabinet of Curiosities home museum collection to a more formal foundation establishment in a planned, secure fashion. He and a dedicated battery of volunteers opened the museum first in 2003 and then moved to the downtown public location on November 1st, 2009 as the world's first cryptozoology museum. On September 15th, 2011, the next step was the nonprofit incorporation of the museum in the state of Maine and then moving to a larger venue for its broad mission purposes. Realizing that cryptozoology is a gateway science for many young people's future interest in biology, zoology, wildlife studies, paleoanthropology, paleontology, anthropology, ecology, marine sciences, and conservation, the International Cryptozoology Museum is filling a needed educational, scientific, and natural history niche in learning.
I love that.
How dare they call me out as somebody who has been interested in Bigfoot since I was tiny and is an
gateway
anthropologist.
So when I walked in, the girl at the desk, their girl, there was like a Portland Ghost Tours brochure on the desk.
Cool.
And when I got there was nobody there. I got there right when they opened at 10 because I'm that person.
You're punctual.
I'm punctual, and I also
Early riser.
I was awake, and there was other stuff I was going to do, and I was like, well, we'll see how long I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
My parking was for 2 hours. We'll see if it fills that full 2 hours if I need to pay for, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I was like, so how did you like get involved with the museum? Like I asked her kind of those kinds of questions.
Mackenzie was boots on the ground interviewing.
I did.
She was our worm in the machine.
And then I was like, because I was like, I love museums, but I also did mention that I was like, I do host, like I host a podcast about like cryptozoology and other weird paranormal stuff. Mm-hmm. She actually owns the Portland Ghost Tours, that specific company.
Shout out.
I don't remember her name, and I'm very sorry.
That's okay. Shout out Portland Ghost Tours.
I did not get a chance because once the ship came in, things were just really hectic. I did not get a chance to go. I'm hoping we would include Maine on our grand road trip of the United States when we end up doing that, or grand haunted trip.
We can fly there.
I would.
That's a long drive.
That's a really long drive. I would fly, and then we can drive around the state of Maine. I don't care.
Yeah. Road trip once we're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Portland was really beautiful. The weather is really nice there. Mm-hmm. I would recommend going in the summer because it was nicest then. I don't know if I want to deal with ice because they are very seasonal. But she was wonderful. She answered a lot of my questions about kind of the collection as a whole. And Lauren Coleman, the director and the owner of many of the, like, it's a lot of his research and evidence and stuff like that. He's still very involved in the museum. Their little, like, gift shop area is all right at the front. There's a lot of signed books and stuff like that from different cryptozoologists. So I did look at some of their books, and then I was like, I don't know if we have some of these already. And I didn't want to call Sarah and go, tell me if we, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to do if I was going to get stuff, I was trying to get it as kind of a little surprise. Anyway.
I do actually, weirdly enough, have a water bottle from the International Cryptozoology Museum that was in a very early into me getting the Cryptid Crate subscription box. So it was before you started getting it. And it holds 6 ounces of water. It is a teeny tiny water bottle, but it is very cute. It's like a metal, like it's stainless steel. It has International Cryptozoology Museum on it. It's got like a little design. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like something that you would have like plutonium in some sort of secret case because it's like a just perfectly tube metal.
Nice.
So, they do allow photography. I took pictures of, I think, every single thing on display.
Good.
They do just make a note that make sure you're considerate of other people in your space when you are taking photos of stuff. And if it's basically saying that by taking pictures in the museum, you're consenting to the museum using your pictures if you choose to post them on social media. If you're a professional photographer, you have to like check in to be like, hey, just so you know, like I'm using a professional camera or whatever. And then you can't take video, digital recording, or general filming without the express permission of the museum director or assistant director. So I was not able to take any video because I was not about to get kicked out of my solo adventure.
Right.
They also are just like have your cell phone on silent or vibrate while you're inside the museum, and don't take calls while you're walking around.
Don't do that.
It does say this is a formal collection and archival museum. Touching and handling of items is not allowed. They are kid-friendly, youthful, and adult-oriented educational collection. There's lots of things to look at that are good for all ages. You just
don't touch it.
Because there is some stuff that is not in cases, so that's why they're like, no touchies.
No touchy.
It's a museum. Don't touch stuff unless it says, please touch this.
Yeah. So I forgot to take a picture of this part of the map because they hand you like a map and it's got like some of their like museum mission and some different things on the like card.
Yeah.
So it's that way you like know where you're going and kind of the path they want you to take through the space because there's like stairs that you go up and different things.
Gotcha.
But kind of in order of appearance, these are all the different exhibitions that they had on display.
Gotcha.
So they had the cast of a giant salamander.
Ooh.
And it was like full sized. It was very large. I have a picture of it.
cool.
Don't worry. You'll see.
Yay, pictures.
Then that entire kind of first room was like cryptozoology and pop culture.
Okay.
More specifically, more modern like pop culture stuff. So they had, they talk a lot about coelacanths. They have a really nice model of the coelacanth that was found in the 1940s or
30s or
40s. They have like a very nice early direct replica of that cast.
If you don't know what a coelacanth is, it was a fish that was thought for a very long time to be extinct and then was rediscovered.
It's on my shirt.
So people thought that it was, oh yeah, she's
this-
got one. It's that guy. They thought it was extinct, and it kind of is like it was a cryptid for a long time because people were seeing it, but it was extinct. And it was like, no, it's not actually extinct. We were wrong.
So they have some information on... So they have the coelacanths, and the creature from the Black Lagoon is actually based on coelacanths. That pop culture reference is actually based on people seeing coelacanths and thinking that it was a weird creature. So they have a bunch of like creature from the Black Lagoon memorabilia, and they have a big like life-sized like model of the museum, the monster.
That's cool.
They also talk about King Kong, Godzilla, Mothra, those kinds of movie monsters being examples of like cryptids in cinema, where obviously those characters are made up characters, but they're based on the like finding an unknown creature or being and it being the core of whatever that movie is. And so that's really based on the like definition that we're talking about as far as cryptid. That is what those are and they're, you know, grandiose, very large, very like they're big creatures, and they would be very abnormal to find now. They had an entire case, like little display case dedicated to the Montauk Monster. For those, we'll do an episode that includes the Montauk Monster, but at its core, it was a skin, a body that kind of it appeared on a beach in New York, and nobody could figure out what it was. And because of the way that the thing that washed up looked, it was very not identifiable as anything natural. Well, it's natural, but like anything that we knew what it was.
Yeah, we couldn't identify it.
And so they called it
the Montauk Monster.
The Montauk Monster. Then they talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Teetles.
Yeah. That comic are actually those beings are based on kappas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That's for you, Tim.
That's for you, Tim. Kappas. They also had more on kappas in a later display case, more of like the actual like folklore of kappas.
Yeah.
But this in the pop culture reference was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is based on the kappa.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And then they had a cute little case with a replica of the Fiji mermaid, P.T. Barnum's Fiji mermaid.
Who we talked about.
We did
in the mermaids episode.
We did talk
I do
briefly.
love a Fiji mermaid.
Anyway, so they had a case on the Fiji mermaid, and it talks about that case, and it's kind of debunked. It looks real fucking accurate to the actual Fiji mermaid. Where I was,
did they take another taxidermy monkey and another taxidermy fish
no,
and sew them together?
I think somebody like
made it out of silicone or whatever.
Had replicated it.
Yeah.
Because it's also like upright, and the original Fiji mermaid is sideways.
Down. Yeah.
Or they just how they posed it is slightly different than how the original Fiji mermaid was.
So they didn't sew together a monkey and a fish.
They did not.
Damn.
They made an ethical remake of it.
Yeah. So then they have
Probably
a case that
FX
materials. I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy.
You're good.
They had a case that was like Wee Folk, which is I don't remember where it's from. Well, a lot of these we're going to cover later on, so I'm not going in depth.
Yeah,
on,
we're talking about the museum itself, not necessarily the critters in the museum.
There is in the same case, like the top of the case, they talk about Wee Folk, and they've got some figurines regarding like what they looked like or some information on them. Then there's this entire case on the orang pendek, and they have like a recreation of what they thought the orang pendek looked like.
Very cool. That's a cool one.
And that one, I think they did really well. They had some foot casts and stuff from that kind of expedition, and they had some really good information on it. They also had a Homo floresiensis recreated skull in that case, which is for those of you that maybe have not done physical anthropology, Homo floresiensis is what people refer to as like hobbits. They were very small.
They're little.
They're little tiny. I could see the tag on it. It was a recreated skull,
fine.
which is actually like ethically. I'm happier
That's ethically
that's what
better.
It
That Cryptozoology Museum. That guy shouldn't have an actual skull or fossil.
So they had like a it's whatever that bone recreation company. It's it's the popular one.
Yeah.
But they had that Homo because the Homo floresiensis skull was what part of what they thought orang pendek was originally.
Oh my god, I love those little guys.
I love island dwarfism and gigantism.
Yeah.
So good.
Then
They're
they
so
had in the case, like kind of behind that, they had the a bunch of stuff about goblins. They had a Gremlins like model, and then they had a bunch of stuff about the Kelly Hopkinsville Goblins case.
Nice.
Including some like toy recreations of like the J. Allen Hynek, like the drawings that came out of those, and it talks about the association of the Gremlins movie with the Goblins case, like we talked about when I did that episode. Also in that, they had something that was called the Shaitani cryptid. Some of these I had not ever heard of, so I was like, these are good jumping off points for like things we can look more
in the future,
into.
Yeah.
They had a full case about aliens, so a lot of like little UFO toys and other figurines, and it was like not cryptozoology, but
adjacent.
aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're going to show you this and like reference it, but it's not exactly what we're talking about.
Especially because, like, if you're doing flesh and blood aliens, like, I would count that in cryptozoology.
Kind of. I mean, it's like, in Star Trek, they call the like,
Sorry.
Bless you.
biology, like the study of other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like xenobiology, or
Yeah.
xenoanthropology of like away from what we are, right? Is what that means. Like if
Mhm.
you're xenophobic, you don't like people who are other than you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that. So it's like this is part of cryptozoology in this like adjacent field
Yeah.
of like
They're connected fields, I would say.
yeah. I wouldn't if it wasn't connected, we wouldn't talk about all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. They had the orangutan duck project was in Sumatra.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures.
That's the coffee my mom used to drink.
They
from
have
Starbucks.
they have a bunch of different foot casts and stuff in that case.
That's so cool.
Are
you looking at your pictures?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to look. Sorry, I went to look for the gremlin pictures, like the
Gremlin.
goblin. The Shatani cryptid is Swahili, so it's from Mozambique.
Ooh.
Neat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to burp directly into my microphone. I thought I was gonna say something, and then my body went.
And then they talk about Ivan T. Sanderson. These are the little models that they had in the case for.
Oh, they're really cute.
for the goblins.
I'll look at it later.
Okay.
They're adorable.
And some artwork. They talk briefly about Charles Fort in that same case, who we'll talk about more.
Oh, Charles Fort's getting his own episode.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So yeah, they
I
had.
can read a book again.
So they have it in the first part of the case. It says not cryptids but aliens, and then they had an entire little article in the back of it where it said UFOs and transdimensional portals. So it talked a little bit about that, especially with like people thinking Bigfoot is some kind of ultra terrestrial that can like bloop between spaces. And then they talked.
This?
Yeah. You go up with the aliens.
Oh yeah. Let's.
They talked more about like mermaids and kappas. They talked about a cryptid that's in Japan that I had not heard of. That was called the Tushinoko, which is like a snake creature.
I've never heard of that one either.
There was a couple of these where I took specific pictures to be like, we're gonna have to look at this bitch later. And
We
then
need to find her.
And then they got into various sea serpents, like lake monsters and sea serpents.
That's my room.
So they had who is this? So they have a local cryptid in Portland. Her name is Cassie. It's the Casco Bay serpent. I bought a postcard of her. It's right here. I don't know if you can see it in my camera.
She's right behind Mackenzie.
So they have an entire case, like a little display shelf about her.
She's beautiful.
She's very cute. Then they talk about the Luska, which looks like a kind of octopusy, squiddy kind of thing. Hadn't heard of it before either.
An octopus squid thing that I've never heard of? Impossible.
It's Lusca is
Impossible.
what they call it. Then they have an entire cute little case full of Loch Ness stuff.
That's my girl.
They talk about the Ogopogo. They've got Ogopogo figurines and stuff.
That's also my girl.
So they have a bunch of Ogopogo stuff. Then they talk about Champ, which is the Lake Champlain monster.
We'll have an episode.
I'm really just touching on these because we're gonna talk a lot about them later on. Stop it.
If there's not enough information about Champ
We
to
might
do his own episode, we may do like an American Lake Monsters.
Yeah, there's a couple of
one.
these that I think we would be like, let's do some like
our girl
cryptids
from Portland.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Cassie.
Cassie.
So it'd be like Jessie, Champ,
Cassie.
Cassie. Why are they all like sea names?
because Casco Bay.
No, I know. It's just really funny. It's like
Chesapeake.
how interesting.
It's all
that
alliteration.
They're all seas.
Then they had the Beast of Bray Road, which is like a Massachusetts.
I think I have.
I was like, I feel like
I have
heard
a
that
thing
one.
of him somewhere.
They
We have
have-
a Beast of Bray Road
They
somewhere
have
in this room.
Giant. I think this is a Lugaroo or a Beast of Bray Road model. I don't remember, but it's
Rougarou.
Oh.
fucking ginormous. It's huge. Like it's life size.
I want to pet it.
It says don't touch.
I know.
Then there's the Mapinguari, which is a Brazilian cryptid that I had not personally heard of before, which looks cool. Then they had chupacabras, so another
That's
one
our
that we've
baby.
talked about. They had a really neat map.
It's my twin flame.
Yeah.
Something they have in their chupacabra like display is a drawing. Where is it? It's a drawing done by Ben Radford in 2010 that is based on Madeline Tolentino's eyewitness sighting of the chupacabra from 1995. He interviewed
That's when I was
Tolentino
born.
in June of 2010, and she said that it was a really good likeness, in fact, more accurate than the best known official depiction of the chupacabra,
Ooh.
illustrated by UFO researcher Jorge Martin.
Do better, Jorge.
Martin, I'm guessing, is actually how you say that.
Probably.
And then it is that the specific drawing is printed on acid-free paper.
Oh, good.
It is signed by Tolentino and the artist Ben Radford, and is one of 5 copies.
Ooh.
Is she the one that saw the original one in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Okay.
Then they had a really neat map of cryptids that have been found or sighted in Maine specifically. So it's a state map of
Neat.
Maine. And then they have a push pin map legend of like what the colors are, like what cryptid they're associated with. So on their legend, they've got black, which is either like black or kind of a brown colored push pin, and they are a black panther, which I think is an actual animal, but I don't know.
But so there's a trend of that's like, why are there? First of all, technically, a black panther isn't a creature that exists. Panthera is a group of animals. If you are seeing a black, smooth-coated cat, it is probably a jaguar or a cougar that is melanated. I know weirdly too much about this, but it is a real creature. But it's just one of those things that it's like, why is this in the woods in Maine?
Yeah.
Or
Shouldn't
like
be there.
Bailey. Hi, Bailey. Bailey sent me a video on TikTok, or like tagged me in a video on TikTok that was in Dallas. Somebody had a picture of a black cougar, black mountain lion, on the side of a road outside of Dallas,
So
like in the woods outside of DFW.
Wild.
their green ones, mark Windy Boys, Bigfoot, and Sasquatch. But they categorize them slightly differently. I don't know why they call them 2 different things. Probably based on what the sightings have called them.
Yeah.
Yellow is just a mystery cat, so just a cat they can't identify. Red is the loup-garou, or a mystery canid. Blue is a sea serpent or lake monster. Purple is an out-of-place mammal or bird, so may not be identified, but is clearly not from...
Shouldn't be there.
And then this like pink color is an out-of-place reptile or amphibian. And then
Why is
white,
there an iguana in the trees in Maine?
And then white
Somebody's pit.
is the specter moose.
Oh.
Which I have more information on. I specifically
I wanna
wrote
know more.
information down for you.
The what?
The specter moose. So, the specter moose of Maine was a mysterious creature spotted in several areas around northern Maine in the early 1900s. It was described as an enormous moose, 10 to 15 feet high, with a ghostly, dirty white coloration and brandishing an immense set of formidable antlers.
That's me.
It was said to have an extremely acute sense of smell and hearing, and the ability to appear or disappear at will and phase through solid objects. Hunters who came across the apparition often told of not being able to get near enough for a shot, as well as the animal's habit of suddenly blinking in or out of existence right before their eyes.
It's a blink dog.
Gilman Brown, a hunter and a taxidermist named Granville Gray, described one encounter.
That's a great name.
Yeah. In which they fired at the moose only for it to vanish before the bullets could hit it. So they had sighted, they had shot, and the moose was gone before. And moose move quickly, but not so
Not
fast
that quickly.
to avoid a bullet.
This is clearly not a moose.
Yeah.
This is clearly some sort of spirit or like spirit of the woods kind of thing. Not like the ghost of a moose. Like this sounds like some sort of ancestral spirit of this wood.
The specter moose was first sighted in 1901 by M.A. Cushing, a Boston sportsman, who spotted one near Chairback Mountain in the Katahdin region. A few months later, the giant moose was seen again near the Lobster Lakes by Clarence Duffy, a guide, and John Ross, a lumberman.
This feels a lumberman. So we've got a sportsman, a guide who's like a hunting guide, and a lumberman in the woods, and they're
then
seeing this big ghost.
Also a hunter and a taxidermist.
A hunter and a taxidermist seeing this big ghost moose. That's some sort of ancestral fucking spirit of those woods being like, quit, get out of here.
I want to know more about the lobster lakes.
And then in the following years, the moose would appear in waves of sightings, only for it to disappear for like years at a time. One such rash of sightings occurred in 1917, another in 1932, and again in 1938. During the 1938 sightings, it was most often seen stalking the forests of the Chesuncook region of the Penobscot River. One description called the moose a monster, and that had like an almost luminous white coloration. And there is more on the document
telling you.
I got cut off. But besides the like odd coloration, like the antlers were said to be 20 points on one side and 21 points on the other.
Holy shit.
Which is ginormous. And then the color pattern is extremely rare. I think there have been other sightings potentially in Canada where it was called the white moose of some kind. So
yeah, like albinism exists.
Yeah.
But
so
it's just not common.
Right.
Especially
just
in
like black, just like a
mooses.
fully black mammal is rare. Like a fully melanated critter is rare. A fully albino thing is rare. I love this creature. I want to be its friend.
I would be fascinated
I
to
think
know
that
if that's
I think
like,
that it wouldn't see it. I wouldn't see it because I would be being nice to the wilderness. I genuinely think this is an omen.
There wasn't a lot as far as like what the actual like what the circumstances surrounding the sightings was.
Yeah.
Besides the hunters, and they didn't have like obviously a ton of like specific stories. Then they talked about the.
Is it called the spectral moose?
The specter moose.
Specter moose. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was like phantom or specter.
I
want to get that tattooed on my body.
They had an entire little baby display. Hi, Brian, on the Jersey Devil.
Hey,
Ryan.
No, shockingly, there was no mention of douchebags anywhere in their display. Very odd.
Not a good example. They did a bad. I'm kidding. The International Cryptozoology Museum is a fantastic museum. They did a good job.
Then they talk about the Dover Demon, which we'll talk about in another episode.
There's not a ton about the Dover Demon. I was going to do it as an episode. It's going to be one of those like we pull a bunch of little cryptids together and do as a fourth episode kind of thing because it's got very little information.
Mini-sode.
Interestingly enough, Lauren Coleman of this Cryptozoology Museum fame, he was the first investigator of the Dover Demon case and actually gave it its name.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat.
So
good for him.
He's actually a lot of these is because these were cases that he was involved in,
That's
especially in the
neat.
Northeast. So there's quite a bit about the Dover Demon and the case that they have. They have quite a bit of like media and stuff like that about it. Then they had a special exhibit. It's like a permanent special exhibit. It's called Sasquatch Revealed. It was curated by Christopher Murphy. And so I'm going to read you the like blurbs about this particular exhibit. This exhibition opened in 2020 and has been a permanent exhibit that they've had for the last 5 years. My guess is it will remain a permanent exhibition in their collection moving forward. So Chris Murphy came to Canada with his family from England in June 1947. His first job was as an office boy with Canada Press, which was a national news agency. It was here he learned how to touch type, which is a skill he used for the rest of his life. The following year, he went to work for the British Columbia Telephone Company, now TELUS, where he finished his education. took many business management courses, and advanced to a management position.
Wow.
Chris became interested in the Sasquatch Bigfoot issue in 1993 as a result of assisting his son Daniel with a college paper. The two met with Renee.
What was the paper about?
I don't know.
No, I know, but I'm like, what?
What was the prompt for his college paper?
The two met with Renee Dahinden, a noted Sasquatch Bigfoot researcher, and all three became good friends. Chris retired at age 53 from the British Columbia Telephone Company the next year, and thereafter became deeply involved in Sasquatch Bigfoot research.
That's
Me
fun.
too.
He worked with Renee in marketing photographs, posters from the Patterson-Gimlin film and
The Bigfoot film.
and Sasquatch Bigfoot footprint casts. He subsequently met and worked with other major Sasquatch Bigfoot researchers and continues to do so today.
Neat.
While employed, Chris had written several books on business management and also books on philately, Philately. Philately. Philately? I don't know. He marketed his books through his company, Pyramid Publications, New Westminster, BC. In cooperation with Renee Dahinden, Chris republished Roger Patterson's book, Do Abominable Snowmen of America Really Exist? And Fred Beck's booklet, Yes.
Philately.
Ely. Philately.
The collection and study of postage stamps.
Cool.
This guy's a fucking nerd.
You know, I went, what the fuck does that mean?
Fred Beck's booklet, Fought the Ape Men of Mount St. Helens, written by his son Ronald. Patterson's book was later republished by Hancock House Publishers under the title Bigfoot Film Controversy, with a supplement written by Chris Murphy. Chris's first Sasquatch Bigfoot book was Bigfoot in Ohio, Encounters with the Grassman, published in 1997.
Ohio.
Written in association with Ohio researchers Jody Cook and George Clapison. The work was later updated and published in 2006 by Hancock House as Bigfoot Encounters in Ohio, Quest for the Grassman.
I don't have that one.
In 2000, Chris embarked on a project to assemble photographs of Sasquatch/Bigfoot related material for a possible book.
Cool.
He worked in cooperation with Yvonne Leclerc, a Quebec, probably Leclerc, I just can't talk, a Quebec researcher and book illustrator, in the preparation of a manuscript. In 2002, Chris approached the Vancouver Museum, British Columbia, with the idea of having a small and permanent Sasquatch Bigfoot display, plaster casts, and photographs. The museum responded with a request for a full temporary exhibit. Chris presented his manuscript to David Hancock and informed him of the museum's request. Hancock suggested that if an exhibit could be arranged, the proposed book could accompany the exhibit. Many researchers were contacted for provision of artifacts, and this resulted in a Vancouver Museum exhibit in July 2004 and the publication of Chris's book, Meet the Sasquatch, written in association with John Green and Thomas Steenberg. After the Vancouver
I don't have that one either.
museum exhibit ended, the exhibit traveled to the Seattle Museum of Mysteries in Washington. Now it's the Northwest Museum of Legends and Lore. The museum
In Seattle?
In Seattle.
I'll go there.
I guess I have to go visit my aunt again.
The Museum of Natural History in Pocatello, Idaho. The Yale Historic Site Museum in Yale, British Columbia. The Columbia Gorge Discovery Center in the Dallas, Oregon. And now the Yakima Valley Museum in Washington. During this time, Chris continued to do Sasquatch Bigfoot research and authored Bigfoot Film Journal in 2008, Know the Sasquatch Bigfoot sequel, and Update to Meet the Sasquatch in 2010.
I don't have any of those.
Yale and the Strange Story of Jacko the Ape Boy in 2010, written in association with Barry Blunt, and Sasquatch in British Columbia 2012, written in association with Thomas Steenberg. Working in conjunction with Hancock House, Chris has edited and coordinated 7 major Sasquatch Bigfoot books written by other authors. Furthermore, Chris worked extensively with White Wolf Entertainment in the production of their Monster Quest television series.
I fucking love Monster Quest.
He has appeared in television documentaries, written articles published in magazines, and has been a featured speaker at conferences. Chris has a virtual museum presentation on the Sasquatch Canada internet website. He works closely with Ontario researcher Todd Prescott in the provision of photographs and information displayed on the site. And a specific note from him, he says, I created my Sasquatch Bigfoot Museum exhibit in 2002. After 10 years researching all aspects of the subject, it was obvious that general public awareness of this intriguing entity was greatly lacking. There was a lot more to it than the public notion or popular notion. In simple terms, the Sasquatch/Bigfoot is a cultural phenomenon on the fringes of science. Although many, if not most, professionals shy away from involvement in researching and resolving the Sasquatch issue, in my experience, this is simply because of a lack of subject knowledge. I reasoned that a physical museum exhibit might accomplish two things. One, foster and promote public awareness/education on the subject matter and encourage people with Sasquatch, Bigfoot-related experiences to come forward to share their knowledge, especially if they have tangible evidence. And two, show the scientific community and governing authorities firsthand if the reasonable hard evidence we have supporting the existence of Sasquatch, Bigfoot. We certainly need more and better evidence, but at the same time, I believe we have enough to at least consider the reality of the Sasquatch Bigfoot and take action to protect them and their environment.
How's he doing?
He seems fine.
Okay.
There is nothing saying he's not fine.
I would love to interview him.
I'm sure we could reach out to him.
I would love to interview him.
That'd be so fun.
Love to interview him. Also, I love Monster Quest. I ironically love Monster Quest. It's not it's the one that had I believe Monster Quest is the show that had the bad Mothman experiment in it and regularly has Joe Nickel on. Fuck that guy. But I love the show Monster Quest. It is a very fun show to watch about cryptids.
And there was nothing in this exhibit that said in honor of.
In honor of. Great. Okay, we should interview him.
So, inside this exhibit, they had more Bigfoot footcasts than I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
This whole museum was full of casts.
That's
there
really cool.
are 8 billion of them, I think.
Yeah. I bet you the only place that has more is the Bigfoot Museum that's on the West Coast that has the handprints and ass prints and everything. I'm not joking. There's a butt print.
I know there is. It's just funny.
I will after we're done, I will let you scroll through all the pictures that I have. But they talk about a couple of different, they've got print footcasts from a lot of different expeditions, Bigfoot expeditions. So they have the Hereford Abbott Hill cast, and it tells you who who did the casting and when it was done. They also have them very nicely presented with rulers next to all of them, so you can see exactly how large these casts are.
Good.
In most of them, some of them don't, but you can tell based on the size of the box that it's in. They also have accompanying information about these particular expeditions. They've also got Shawnee State Park, the Chilliwack River, the Bluff Creek, which is the first. That's the 1967, the first film sightings of Bigfoot, and some of the casts from that. It's the first brought modern the modern expedition of Bigfoot into the forefront of media. Came from the Bluff Creek footcast and the associated film, which is Bluff Creek is in Northern California. That particular expedition. They've also got Blue Creek Mountain, Bossburg, Washington, and lots of other Bigfoot. They have one that's called the Cripplefoot cast, which is you can see in the toes that it's clearly something happened to this poor.
He got injured.
He's got some kind of boo boo.
His foot hurts.
He's limping.
Yeah. They also talk about what the you can see ones that had maybe some kind of broken bone and at some point, like you can see it in the way that the feet look and different things like that. Inside that, after all of the 8 billion foot casts of different things, which is not to say the fact that we have that many foot casts is amazing. I'm not discounting or discrediting the exhibition because there were so many foot casts. I was just overwhelmed with the number that there were, and I was trying to take pictures of stuff and like keep it organized, and it was just there was a lot. There was a lot
of foot casts
happening. Then after inside that same one, they've got like certificates of authenticity and different things like that of different casts. They do really good job of like documentation. They had Sasquatch hair in like little hair,
like vials.
No, they're like sample pouches.
That's so neat.
Cinder. The hair was
Little
harder
evidence
for
bag.
me.
It looks like a hair.
It looks like a hair.
Great.
And I am not discounting or discrediting any of the evidence that this is. It's just like looking at a little hair and a pouch. You're just like, did you pick it off? You know what I mean? Like
It's
there's
a
part of you.
hair.
As from a skeptic perspective, you're like, whose head did you pull that off of?
And also, not even from like a skeptic perspective, for me, from like a, the thing with the Cryptozoology Museum is it needs to have like sensational stuff in it for people who are not me to buy into. Like, I'll see that and be like, 100% that's Sasquatch hair. Huh? Sasquatch hair. But, it's not big and flashy and a foot cast with a ruler next to it, next to 37 other foot casts with rulers next to them, right? Like the magnitude of that and the quantity of that is very like, there are so many of these that it has to be something. A hair in an evidence baggie is, like you're saying, like, where did you get that from? I'm like, Bigfoot is where they got it from.
Well, and I'm not...
And I can understand, like, looking at that in a museum, a museum person, I don't... As somebody who has a degree in museums, I do not do museums the way that... I don't go through museums the way that it is expected of somebody who likes museums. I don't read, and I sprint, and I look at stuff that I think is cool, and until it no longer holds my attention, and then I sprint to the next thing.
Yep.
That wouldn't hold my attention. Like, it's not interesting enough.
No. And looking at that picture of that hair, it's like that could have been my hair, head hair. Like, that's the length of it.
Yeah.
To me, that like it doesn't look like fur at all. It looks like a hair from somebody's head.
Yeah.
In this...
Too long.
They also... I mean, they have other information, and I'm sure I may have just missed it in trying to get pictures of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also am a horrible museum kid and do not... I particularly went through and read everything. I actually did not read hardly anything. I was taking pictures.
You were documenting the museum so that way we could look at it.
Yeah. Okay. They also have some information in that same exhibit about other like Sasquatch behaviors. So like signs that there are Bigfoot or Sasquatch like present.
Mm-hmm.
God.
I've been holding them for this whole section.
So they have a little blurb or like an article about something called the Myakka River skunk ape, which is a Florida.
Yeah, the skunk ape.
It's like the abominable Florida ape man, abominable swamp slob, Barden booger.
He's stanky.
Sandman,
Booger.
and Squattum's growler.
Skunk ape.
Skunk
We
ape
have
stanky.
a, you may not have it. I don't remember when we got this one. We have a shirt, a Cryptic Crate shirt. It's got Skunk Ape on it. He's like a dirty, rotten Bigfoot holding a Starbucks
And
cup.
he's stanky.
Hell
in the
yeah,
shirt
brother.
That we've got. I will say Bigfoot is coming at some point in episode topics, but it's one of those things that it's like it is equally a giant topic and also 75 smaller topics.
Yeah.
As far as the like behaviors that they talk about,
Right.
they talk about Sasquatch like stealing food from like human settlements.
Why not?
Because
Easier.
easier.
Easier than finding it himself.
They also
Raccoon's still out of your trash because it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher will appreciate this. This talks
Yes.
about the types of food that a Bigfoot may hunt, or types of animals that a Bigfoot may hunt.
Chris does love to know where the food's coming from.
I want to know where that food is
So
coming
they
from.
talk about
What's it eating?
They say that they hunt deer, elk, feral pigs, the golden-mantled ground squirrel, the Columbian ground squirrel, the yellow-bellied marmot, the American pika, the mountain cottontail, the white-tailed jackrabbit, red foxes, wild turkey, waterfowl, shellfish, crustaceans, fish, insects and mollusks, bears stolen from traps.
Bears.
In parentheses next to bears, it says stolen from traps. So already trapped bears.
Oh, okay.
And
So they're
carrion,
not catching them themselves.
no, and then carrion roadkill. They also
So they'll eat anything.
from human sources, domestic animals, unfortunately, including cats, cattle, and calves, chickens, goats, sheep, cultivated fruits and vegetables, so stealing things from a garden, garbage, processed foods such as pancake flour and other packaged goods introduced by humans at camps and such.
I'm just envisioning the classic, like someone putting a pie in the window to cool, and instead
Bigfoot.
of some sort of like vagrant coming and stealing it, it's just Bigfoot.
And
Big hand
then,
comes in.
They talk about the plants that Bigfoot may
Eats?
eat, which they talk about cattails, gooseberries, miner's
he eats
lettuce,
cattails.
wild yams, pine bark, spruce buds, salmon berries, pineapple weed, not pineapple wood.
Yeah.
Lamb's quarters, which is like a leaf. It's a plant.
Yeah.
Morels, which is a type of mushroom, wild huckleberries, wood sorrel, wild mint, blackberries, elderflower, chanterelles, wild raspberries, ginkgo, juniper, fiddle leaf figs, wild blueberries, currants, wild onion, and general grasses.
So what I'm getting at, what we're getting at here is that Bigfoot will eat anything.
It's an omnivore.
Yeah, so I've got questions.
Go ahead. I'm going to do my best to answer them for you.
This is for either one of you because I don't know much about Bigfoot in the grand scheme of things.
I'm here for it.
Do we know what kind of teeth it has?
It's kind of...
It is presumed to have like ape teeth.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming, but like I don't know. With the list of all of those things,
So they've got
I was
rippy... they are assumed to have like rippy teeth,
They've
but
got
also
like
the,
they're like
molar
us.
structure.
They've got canine teeth and grindy teeth. They're omnivores. Is the assumption.
Well, so our teeth are specifically for talking.
Right.
Our mouths have developed
Fair.
for talking, not for food.
But if you were to
they've
look like a
got- so, like,
gorilla...
Yeah,
take
so are we
our
talking
mouths
about like
and a
chimps?
gorilla mouth or a chimp mouth and go somewhere between those two things is what
So
they are alleged
big
to have.
teeth, not as long canines as,
As like a gorilla or a chimp.
gorilla, but far more pronounced canines
Mm-hmm.
with sharper like ripping points, and then also a grindable
teeth.
back
Grindy teeth in the back.
Yeah.
And chompers in the front?
Yeah, big chompers in the front.
Just flat chompers in the front?
Yeah, like canines and then
Flat chompy teeth.
flat chompy
'Kay.
teeth. Very similar to our mouths, but like less pronounced than the
More.
gorilla or shrimp, but more than a
so-
human.
Our mouth.
And so these are assumptions we are making, or is there
This is
some sort of an information that we are finding from somewhere?
I'm guessing this
well,
is
it's
from
a cryptid, so
Right. I mean, yeah.
we don't know.
I'm guessing based on my guess is they are
I just didn't know if we had like
this listing
bite casts from
This-
something.
The only thing that I know for 100% sure that Bigfoot has eaten is Nutella,
Yeah.
yeah.
because we have a hand cast from inside a jar of Nutella.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I know Bigfoot's eaten,
I am guessing
and I don't even know if it ate it. It just stuck its hand in there.
based on the rest of the evidence found in this collection that I'm guessing this is based on other evidence that they have found and probably what is local to that area and other like animal like hunted animals or things
I
like
know
like,
we found like some Bigfoot scat allegedly.
Okay.
Oh,
so
don't
we could
know-
have done.
Don't worry, I'm getting that too.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's like
excellent.
from that we can
So
analyze
we
what
can
they've been
analyze what they were
eating.
eating, yeah.
Be like, oh, there's definitely plant and animal
Material in
this,
here.
So.
Right.
So they talk about twisted trees as a like symbology of like
the crust trees?
No,
or
like
actual
they'll
twisted.
twist part of a like
Oh.
break it and twist it.
But they won't break it all the way
They
off.
won't break it all the way off. It'll so like they'll break it and then they'll twist it like a twist tie.
Yeah.
Um,
like a really green tree where when you try to break it, it just.
Yeah.
And this research is saying it's kind of a symbology of saying like to other. This seems like more flesh and blood Bigfoot than what we've talked about
and
Bigfoot
woo-woo
being.
yeah.
But talking about like this is a sign to other big feet saying like we're here. I'm here.
Yeah,
This
they're
my
marking their
this my
territory.
A
space.
territorial marking.
They had a little brief thing about they called it the Bigfoot, like a California firebug. There's like an encounter that somebody had that was noted in 1869, where somebody was out hunting in the mountains in Northern California, and he would return to his camp and found that the ashes and charred sticks from the fire had been scattered. And in the sand, he saw a track of a foot that is,
big.
Too big.
And then he heard a shrill whistle. He saw the Bigfoot walking around. He
So
said
it's called a firebug because it was playing with the remnants of his fire.
With the remnants of the fire. And he looked like he was just having a fun time playing with the lighted sticks.
He said, "It glow."
Another
fire.
Another symbol or a feeding sign this particular research talks about is like rock stacking. So kind of cairn situations. It says...
Don't do that.
Don't
build cairns.
You shouldn't build cairns.
You shouldn't build it. You're not Bigfoot.
If
You're
Bigfoot's
also
doing
not
it...
somebody marking trails, don't do it.
Yeah.
Leave the rocks alone.
They're like, for real, there was just a hellbender that like died because somebody's cairn fell over onto this salamander and killed it, and it's a critically endangered salamander.
Yeah, and
so, stop it.
Don't build them. Don't take rocks. Leave them alone. Leave no trace, and that includes not fucking with the environment. Don't build cairns when you go out playing. Buy rocks at your house. Build your cairn at your home.
They say they do it to kind of mark the edges of like their territory.
Yeah, their territory.
Like what we use them for in parks for trail markers.
They talked about mama Bigfoots and baby Bigfoots.
Oh,
little babies.
Picturing a baby Bigfoot is so funny to me. What does he look like?
They
Goofy.
are basically the mother and baby one sounded very similar to like gorilla to me. In that, like, they dote over their babies until they're old enough to take care of themselves, and then male offspring will be
Shunted.
Will be the first to live a solitary life by leaving their mother or family group once they're self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So do they have
bachelors.
like female family groups?
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me look.
No.
This one does not say.
For the most part, like Bigfoot are technically like solitary.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I had always assumed. They're solitary.
But
so.
again, this is flesh and blood Bigfoot stuff, so
right,
which is
they do
my cup
talk
of
about
tea,
them
but-
building nests.
Yeah.
Similar to again like a gorilla or a chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about aggression displays, things like throwing rocks or sticks.
Everything in my body just told me to make a Bigfoot yawp, and I went, "Don't do that inside."
And then
it's too loud.
hilariously, they have like a generations of Bigfoot kind of little poster, and their middle-aged male Bigfoot has male pattern baldness, and that cracks me the fuck up.
Covered in hair,
like the
except
fucking
right
Slim
here.
Jim Sasquatch, motherfucker. That's so
It's
stupid
so
looking.
stupid,
Oh
but
my
it's so funny. I'll
God.
show it to you when we're done. I
Yeah,
promise.
show it to me later. God.
Some of these, again, I was like, did you just go to the zoo? I'm like, not to be ugly, but there was a part of me that, like, my own flesh and blood, like, skepticism of flesh and blood Bigfoot.
Flesh and Bigfoot.
Flesh and Bigfoot.
Flesh and blood Bigfoot. There was part of me that was like, did you just go to the zoo?
So
like,
my thing, and it's one of those things that it's like, I wish that Bigfoot researchers would be more ridiculous. Because, like, it's not a gorilla. Quit making it a gorilla. It's
Right,
not
it's
one,
not a
right?
gorilla.
Like you're saying it's not a gorilla. Quit saying that everything that it does is gorilla. Like, I love flesh and blood Bigfoot. I want to look at one in the eyes, make a horrible yowl at it make a horrible yowl at me, and we both run in different directions, and that's the end of the encounter.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to see flesh and blood Bigfoot. I like thinking about weird Bigfoot, and I think weird Bigfoot is fun, and I think both can exist. I think maybe both do exist.
Yeah.
But flesh and blood Bigfoot is so fun to me. But fucking flesh and blood, I love flesh and blood Bigfoot researchers, but every time they're talking about it and its behavior and everything, they're like, it's like a gorilla. And I'm like, so it's not just an escaped gorilla, though?
Right. It's
How is it
weirder.
different?
It
How
talk-
is it different?
It talks about the facial expressions, different facial expressions in their meeting. Again, a lot of their artwork feels very gorilla to
Like
me.
the
Yeah.
zoo.
It looks distinctly different than gorilla, but
Right, but it's
feels-
gorilla.
It reads gorilla. Excuse me.
Which is not a fault of them. That is a thing in Bigfoot research community. Is they're like, well, to make the skeptics be more on our side, we need to show like it's ape behavior, and it's like, yes, but
It talks
How
about
is it
wood
different?
knocking, which is a behavior that is very specific to Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and not to gorillas.
God, I want a Bigfoot knocker so bad.
They do talk much like humans. A Bigfoot will have the very occasional quadrupedal gait.
Sometimes you got to run on all fours.
Sometimes you got to bear crawl a little bit.
Sometimes it's easier to go upstairs when your knees hurt if you do it on all fours.
Yep.
They talk about their family groups. So I think they're very small, and I think children and family groups do not like the male and female mom and dad Bigfoot may stay together longer term, but like
Oh.
they didn't say much about the coupling of Bigfoots. I don't fucking know.
I need to know more about Bigfoot mating rituals.
And then they talk about vocalizations. So Bigfoot talks, Bigfoot speakies, screams, wails, whoops, whistles, grunts, moans, snarls, and tooth clacking. So,
I hurt my teeth.
and they're very loud. They're much different than like a whoop of a gorilla or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I can't do the Bigfoot yop that I know, which is like all of the sounds combined into one in my mouth. But it's so loud. I've done it outside once.
And
I was
then-
like, so we can go outside after this and record you.
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
include that clip right here.
Yeah,
And then they talk about the Bigfoots swim, so that may be a way that they get from place to place is they go swimming.
just pictured this guy just like doing a breaststroke.
And then they
What I'm imagining
also-
is the like getting out and just being like soaking wet
And then, like,
covered in
their
hair.
ability to high step, so like over fences, over
Yeah.
things like that.
Which is different than gorilla.
Yeah,
Which
gorilla
is different
can't
than
do that.
gorilla cannot high step. So that's kind of their
Bigfoot exhibit.
Bigfoot exhibit.
God, I want to go in there. Take me to there.
Then I went upstairs.
Okay, so we're done with Bigfoot.
We're done with Bigfoot. So they talk about Mothman, and they've got the John Keel Mothman books.
Ooh.
They've got there.
Mothman.
They've
Bring
got
me a
Mothman
muff.
toys and the John Keel books. They also talk about the Flatwoods Monster
Yeah,
and
which
the
is
legend
like
of the Flatwoods Monster. They've got, again, they mix like pop culture like
Right.
references into their exhibit. So they talk about the case, but they also, a lot of what's on display is based on what we see in like pop culture.
specifically with Flatwoods. That makes sense because it was like it happened one day.
One time.
Yeah. Then they've got these like, it's more Mothman, sorry.
I'm still laughing at the Mothman, Mr. Sandman song.
They've got this, I think it looks kind of goofy,
Uh-huh.
but it's a life-sized version of the Mothman based on eyewitness accounts. And I think he looks very silly. Kim Parkhurst, who's the artist, this is not a slight on her
Right.
or them. I just, it just makes me giggle. It makes me smile.
Mr. Mothman. Man me a moth.
Moth me a man. Moth man.
Then they have like a recreation of the Kennewick Man skull, which
Ooh.
is known to look like Patrick Stewart. So
Notoriously looks like Patrick Stewart.
Like
Sir
it-
Patrick Stewart.
Sir
We should
Patrick
put some honor
Stewart.
on his name.
so sorry.
Could just be his brother.
Could
I
just
mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, Google the Kennewick Man and you'll understand
Google the
why.
Kennewick
Like
Man.
it's a very popular, like almost everybody.
That's Jean-Luc Picard.
It just is. And it also talks about Neanderthals and Bigfoot and like the
Yeah.
like, is this just an evolutionary, like a branch of the Neanderthal that did not go towards humans.
Right.
And
What are
It
you?
evolved in a different manner.
Yeah.
So they have some Neanderthal and Neanderthal skull recreations and stuff. So from like a physical anthropology
Pretty cool.
perspective, there is some
Yeah.
science on display to help you understand like
What
when,
could this be?
when we're talking about flesh and blood Bigfoot, why we're talking about not human, right? We're back to very briefly Bigfoot and pop culture. So they've got like toys, Bigfoot toys and things like that, like the ones we have. I have this guy. He's a little Bigfoot squid, like plushie. Stay. The floppy Bigfoot. We have a lot of Bigfoot stuff
We
because
do have a lot of Bigfoot stuff.
because it's right now it's very popular again.
I also
In-
just love him.
So they've got some like plushies and stuff like that. Then they also go into this area. It talks about the abominable snowman, Yeti, the Yowie.
Woo.
So they've got an entire, potentially every Yeti, abominable snowman toy that has ever been created ever.
Iconic.
Including the one from the Christmas movie, the
Bumble.
The Bumble. And then they've also got the Monsters Inc. Abominable Snowman and stuff like that. Like they've
Any
got a
snow
bunch of
cones?
little.
And his snow
They've got
cones.
a bunch of different little toys
That's John
and
Ratzenberger.
Yeah.
plushies and such. And they've got looks like there's a board game in the case called Yeti Set Go, which I think is different than the game that Sarah and I have, which is Yeti versus Bigfoot, which is very funny.
We have Yeti versus Bigfoot. We also have a card game
Yeah.
that's Find Bigfoot in the Forest.
So their
Okay.
Yowie section. I'm so sorry, microphone.
Yowie is the Aussie.
Yowie is from Australia.
Can you give us a spelling real quick?
Yowie.
Thank you.
Like owie with a Y.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Yowie.
Yeah.
The Scooby Doo
It's the Yowie Yahoo.
the Yowie Yahoo, which is like they
Cute.
talk about it more as like a vampire thing, but it's really
Completely different critter.
more very different.
Completely different.
So they have for the Yowie, they have some hair samples again that were collected in like 1999.
when I was born.
Looking back at these,
It's just Chris.
I'm just
As a baby.
unsure as to like, and maybe I just took bad pictures, so I can't really see where the hair is in the picture, which is very
Fair.
very potential. But they do also have Yowie foot casts,
The
and
Yowie.
they have it in comparison to a lowland gorilla, so you can see the difference in foot structure.
Great.
And then for the Yeti, they actually have an original copy of Ivan T. Sanderson's Yeti cast from the Shipton expedition in 1951 to Nepal.
Envy.
Cool.
So they have a bunch of, again,
Do they talk about in pop culture Betty the Yeti from Expedition Everest, the roller coaster at
I
Disney World?
don't think so.
Dang.
Because they really talk about the Shipton expedition. They have a bunch of
Yeah.
information from Eric Shipton's expedition in 1951 from Everest. They do talk about the Hanuman, which is the monkey god of the Himalayas, and they
Yeah.
have a monkey god statue similar to what they have in the Disney. Like,
Expedition Everest.
if you go to Expedition Everest and you ride the ride and you walk through part of the queue, they've created
The indoor queue is like
they've created a
whole-
Yeti museum.
Yeah. My favorite footcast is there.
It is. They also, for that particular, for some of their other casts, they have like human casts for reference to
Nice.
the other foot casts.
It's like, here's a human foot, here's a gorilla foot, here's a Bigfoot foot.
They have a handprint, a hand cast from, it was done by Paul Freeman in the Blue Mountains. It's very large. And they have the hand cast in comparison to like a chimpanzee hand and things like that. So it's fucking ginormous. They have a knuckle and thumb imprint of a cast. Again, like I was saying, I have never seen more casts of different things in my life than I saw in this museum, which is not to say it's not amazing evidence. It is, but it's just
It's a lot of the same
it was-
kind of thing.
It was a little overwhelming in the fact of like, do you have anything else?
Fair.
They have a sample of soil from Bluff Creek. because the soil has a blue-gray tinge and it captures footprints really nicely. So they did take a soil sample. There are some more hair samples, which these hair samples are much better than the other ones.
I am more willing to believe those as a Bigfoot hair sample than
I will see them later.
the
you will.
single.
It's so I'm the
long
one that you don't
hair.
need to show pictures to because I'm like I know everything is real.
Another hair sample potentially from the abominable snowman. This one does also again look more realistic of a hair sample and not just a singular hair. We talked about pareidolia in last week, and there's a pareidolia with the $10 bill. So it's called the Hamilton $10 Sasquatch. Basically it looks like the way that Hamilton's hair is wavy. It looks like the profile of a Bigfoot.
So it's like the demon that's in that dollar in Canada.
in Queen Victoria's hair.
This is
Queen Elizabeth.
the signing. This particular bill that they're talking about is from 2008. Again, I will show you the pictures afterwards.
Oh my God, I totally see it.
Yeah. So again, more.
That's so funny.
So many foot casts. They do have an Expedition Bigfoot poster signed by the cast of Expedition Bigfoot in the museum, which is
nice.
cute.
That's fun.
Then they have where's the poster? They have what's called the Crookston Bigfoot. Is a 8.5 tall, 300-pound model.
Me too.
Of Bigfoot.
Damn.
It is permanently added to the collection of this museum.
Can I hug it?
Yeah, you can't touch it.
Fuck.
But you can take pictures with it. So basically, this was created in 1990 by taxidermist and artist Curtis Christensen because he wanted to create a Bigfoot model because of his interest in the unknown and in the creature. And so he fashioned the world's most unique Bigfoot in existence, and it stood in his barn, like all good things. Stood in a barn for a couple years.
Yep.
He was like, I made this. Now I don't know what to do with it.
And then,
It's like, well, I made it.
This means something.
In June of 1995, Crookston, Minnesota, based on a series of local sightings, declared itself the Bigfoot capital of the world, and which is interesting.
Minnesota.
And so Christensen contacted the executive director of the Crookston Development Authority to see if they would like to obtain his Bigfoot sculpture to go with their new worldwide fame.
I love that this sculpture was made the year my brother was born and became named the year that I was born.
Ow,
fuck. Oh no.
I'm fine. We're fine.
You want me to punch you in the rib?
No,
think
I
they'll
just
fix
need
it?
to sit up better. Anyway, the Crookston got the model, and then then it disappeared after a few years. It just went poof.
Great.
And so they couldn't find it. And then after a few years of searching, Lauren Coleman had found that a tool company in Minneapolis had displayed it, had obtained it and was displaying it.
Amazing.
And the owner of the corporation basically told Lauren Coleman that he was always fascinated with Bigfoot, and when he saw the model, he couldn't resist. They've taken it to trade shows, and people always got their photos with them. People love it, and it creates such a memory. Most of the time, however, the Crookston Bigfoot was in a Minneapolis warehouse, and the time had come for it to find a more permanent home, which is now with the International Cryptozoology Museum.
Great.
So I did take a picture of it, and I took a picture with it, so you could see like the full size of it, and then also just a cute little selfie of me with Bigfoot.
I am mad that I can't hug it.
It looks very soft.
Let me hug that.
And then they
Bigfoot.
did have it was kind of, I guess, technically it was inside of the search the Bigfoot section. They did have a no foolin' cryptoscatology little display.
Yeah.
And that
Poop
is all poop. So they have these are all preserved or recreated samples
Doo-doo.
of poop. It does not smell bad. They're preserved. Okay?
Right.
It's not just fresh shit rotting on a shelf.
This is the poop section of the episode.
Poop section. If you don't want
Welcome to the poop section.
If you don't want to hear about the poop section, skip ahead. We'll tell you when we're done. I don't know how long it's going to take. So they have a sample of wild boar poop, javelina poop, Bigfoot poop,
Bigfoot poop.
Bigfoot
and
poop.
it's big poop.
Is it big poop?
It's big poop.
Wow.
Bigfoot big poop.
They've also got
You know what they say about big
Bigfoot
feet?
be shitting.
feral horse poop, timber wolf poop, coyote poop, black bear poop, cougar poop, moose poop, bobcat poop.
They
mink
have my poop?
They've
Poop.
got-
They have your
yeah,
poop.
they've got your poop. Elk poop, white-tailed deer poop, mule deer poop. They've got raccoon poop, muskrat poop, possum poop, porcupine poop.
Poop is not a word anymore.
Poop, 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 poop.
Literally so much poop. Basically to be like,
It's
look,
a poop museum.
Look at all of these. Look at all of these other animals' poops compared to
Bigfoot poop.
Bigfoot poop.
None of them are similar.
Nope.
None of them.
Not one.
So funny.
Poop.
Yeah.
Poop,
So, that's all I have. That's really the whole museum.
Hey guys, the poop part's over. Come back. Welcome back. Poop's done.
It was
What a way to end.
sorry.
No, you're right to do it.
And so then I finished taking all of my pictures. I wandered back through one more time for good measure to make sure I hadn't missed anything important. I was there for, I would say, about an hour,
Okay.
which is longer realistically than I thought I was going to be in that space.
I want to go.
I would love to go back. I think I would love to see them in their new space because it is a much larger space that they're moving into in Bangor. So I would love to see what they do with a
the bigger
dedicated
space.
space that is not a rental space. Like I'm really interested to see what they do with hopefully better
Hopefully specialized space for them.
It is specialized space for them. They've been working on it for a while.
Nice.
So I'm excited for the move. I'm excited to see what they do, how they update the displays and the information in the displays with a move to a new location.
Yeah.
They probably stopped updating stuff for a while, knowing that they were getting ready to
they were
move
gonna
the
move.
collection.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see when we go back what the difference is for me. I bought a shirt
As you
while I was
should.
there, and it's actually shirt.
Good shirt?
Good
Nice.
shirt. They had other types of shirts. I liked this one as my personal favorite because it had the actual museum name on it. They had
Right.
like Hawaiian shirts and stuff too. But I was
Cute.
I was like, I thought about getting shirts for y'all
Yeah.
because they had different ones. But then I was like, if I have to go ask because they had kind of a limited stock, I was like, if they don't have the size and the shirt that they want, I'm gonna be sad, and then they're
Yeah.
gonna think they're like, then I'm gonna have said that I'm getting them something that I can't fulfill, and I didn't want to do that either.
Yeah.
The other thing that I got was that Cassie the Casco-based serpent
Card.
postcard. They do have an online store where
They do.
which is far more robust than their in-person store. I'm hoping with the new museum building they're able
They'll
to
have a dedicated
they'll
gift
have
shop
a
space.
better, the space that they have is just very skinny,
Limited. Yeah.
so it's limited in what they can have. They did have a ton of books available, signed copies of books.
I love a museum bookstore.
So what did you learn? What did you think?
I want to go.
I want to go really bad.
I want to go so bad. I mean, I've wanted to go since I got the water bottle and the cryptid crate from them. God, I want to go. I want to go, and I want to get kicked out because I want to hug that Bigfoot. Don't listen to this episode, owner of that museum.
We're not
And
going to touch
ban
your
me
things.
preemptively. I won't actually touch it. I just God, I wish that I could hug it
Yep.
and take a picture hugging it.
Yeah, what do you think?
I want to go. I want to go see it. I want to go. I don't know. I want to
would-
go see the Bigfoot cast.
I'm gonna spend 25 minutes just in that poop space.
Poop.
Just looking at poop.
I'd give it like content wise like a 7 or 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Museum layout wise, I'd give it like a 6, which is not really on them.
Yeah, they're in
They're-
they're not
they're
in a
in a rented
dedicated
space.
museum
They're
space.
they're working. They have made the space that they have work. really well
Yeah.
for what they need. I would have done. It's just a hard space to navigate.
Yeah.
And if you are disabled in any way, you're gonna miss everything on the second floor because there is not a way to get up there without going up and down stairs.
Dang.
So from a like museum kid perspective, it loses a couple of points just because of the nature of their space, unfortunately.
But they're working on it.
On it. I think it looks like their new space has far more floor space. So I'm hoping they're able to do more on like a first floor only kind of design.
Yeah.
But their content was good. I enjoyed the content. I did learn quite a bit, as much as I was overwhelmed by the amount of foot casts and wish there were other. Really, that's a lot of the physical evidence that we have for Bigfoot.
All we have
so,
for Bigfoot.
Like
is
the fact
casts.
that they have so many is amazing. I'm not discounting or discrediting the fact that they have them. I think it is amazing. It's just overwhelming from that perspective when you're trying to figure out what it is you're actually looking at.
And I mean, at that point, it could be a change in how they're displaying them as a collection, as all of those foot casts.
Yeah, and I think maybe in the new space they're able to do that better. I think there could have been more well done accompanying information to the casts. Some of their info boards were really just 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper that were printed out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they were wordy or blocked by other stuff in the display case, so you couldn't read all of the words real well.
Gotcha.
Which again is, I guess, more of a fault of the space, not necessarily a fault of them. They're doing their best to like
They're doing the
give
best with what they got.
information, but I'm very excited. I think the move that they're doing is going to be really good for the collection as a whole, and hopefully allow them to display all their pieces in a more spread out.
Yeah. Give them a little more
way.
space.
I
a little
think
more room to breathe.
that's all you need to know for right now about the International Cryptozoology Museum. Thanks for letting me talk about my weirdo side quest that I did while I was working.
Truly an adventure.
It was very much an adventure. We'll see you next week for Christmas.
We'll see you next week for Christmas.
Merry Christmas! Thanks for listening.
This podcast is for weirdos.
Are you a weirdo?
Thursdays are for the phenomena.